Today is day 22 of me building a $10,000 Robinhood portfolio from scratch just to show you the effects of consistent investing, compound interest, and overall volatility in the stock market here on this channel. In the past weeks, we have yet to see a green portfolio because the stock market in general has been on an overall decline. However, I have been sticking to the plan of investing $1,000 per month or $250 per week into this Robinhood portfolio, and let's jump right into it so you can see exactly how the portfolio is doing. So as of today, the portfolio is valued at $1,504.97. But as we always do, the first thing that we need to add is a $250 contributions for this week's stock purchases. Now that that's transferred, the current value of the portfolio is $1,754.96. And before we get into our new stock purchases, let's take a look at how this account has fared overall through this challenge. So if you look at the one-day chart, this is a holiday because I'm recording this on Labor Day. We are down 71 cents or about 0.04%. On the week, we have actually seen our biggest gain in the challenge, up $24.28 or 1.4%. And I do want to preface this video, if you haven't seen any of the other videos, that I am not trying to be a individual stock picker. I'm not trying to beat the S&P 500. I am trying to show what an everyday investor should do as far as investing in index funds and investing in blue chip stocks. This is not going to be a portfolio that sees 1,000% gains. However, this is more to be an example of what you could potentially see if you decide to invest in a similar way. But on the week, as I mentioned earlier, we can see that we were down a good bit, and then we saw a big jump right around August 29th, and from August 29th onward we have been fairly stable. On the 1 month, we can see that I started this challenge around August the 7th, and right around that time is when the stock market took a fairly large dip. We saw a little bit of a recovery and then back down again until we saw another recovery, and now we're back in the green. On the 3-month chart, that's more the same, and on the year to date you're going to see that as well. I'll go out to the 1 year just to show you that in the past I've had rewards on this account, but I won't necessarily be accounting this trading activity towards the challenge. Everything from August onward count. And just to take a look at the all-time chart, you can see that our activity isn't really showing at all here. But now that we have had a look at how the overall account has performed, let's now dive deeper into my individual stock positions. So as of right now, the first position that shows up on the account is Bitcoin. I added this as a little bit of a joke in the first video. It was definitely an impulsive purchase, and I only added $50 into the portfolio initially because I thought that it would be good for entertainment purposes. But if we take a look at the Bitcoin position, we own a very small marginal share of a Bitcoin. Our average cost is $29,534 and is currently trading at around $26,000, giving us an overall loss of 12.37% or about $6.19. Going forward, I want this Bitcoin position to be less than 1% of the overall portfolio. So as I add more money into the portfolio and don't add it into Bitcoin, this portfolio weight will slowly decrease over time. Once I get the portfolio to around $5,000, I may then start to reconsider adding more into Bitcoin. But the next position, and one of my favorite positions in this portfolio, is VOO, or the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. This position definitely has the heaviest weight in my portfolio, with it being almost 55% and the market value being at $818.87. Our average cost in this position is $408.41, and it is currently trading at $414.42. But we can see that on this position we are up 1.47% or $11.87, and the day's return is $1.17. But this is actually a position that I want to add to consistently. So because we added $250 to the portfolio, what I'm going to do is queue another $200 buy. It won't go in right now because today is a holiday, but when the market does open, we're going to add another $200 of VOO into the portfolio, and then once that goes through, this position will be officially above $1,000. The next position that we have is another heavily weighted ETF, the Vanguard Total International Stock ETF. The idea for this portfolio is to have it around 80 to 90% index funds or ETFs so that I can capture a lot of that diversity, and my portfolio performance is not too heavily affected by my decision to invest in individual stocks. The individual stocks in this portfolio are mainly for entertainment purposes, but the majority of the performance will definitely come from these index funds. So our position in VXUX currently stands at 27% of the portfolio or around $406. Our average cost is actually $56.29, with the current trading price being $55.93. That gives us a total return of negative 0.64% or just about $2.61. This is a position that I'm going to be adding to every single week as well. So what I'm going to do here is put in a limit order for $25 just to add a little bit of that into the portfolio. So that takes $225 of our $255 worth of buying power, and I got a little bit of something different that I want to do with that remaining $30, so stick around to the end of the video. Now as we get into the individual stocks, these positions won't be all that big at all. We only hold about $40 worth of Tesla. This position is mainly because I recognize Tesla and I use it on a day-to-day basis, but overall on the position we're up 1.19%, and the day's return is actually negative 5%. This had been one of our strongest returns, but as we can see, as of the past week, it took a heavy drop, but I do plan on holding this position no matter what it does, especially since it's so small in the portfolio. Moving forward into the next position, we hold Apple at $177.12. This position is actually up almost 7%, with our average cost being $177 and the current trading price being $189. We only hold $58 with the Apple, and it makes up about 4% of the portfolio. I really want these individual positions to be each about 2%, so I probably won't be adding any more to these until I get the portfolio value up a lot more. Going forward, we hold Walmart at $158.94. The current trading price is $161.26. Our total return is 1.46%, and the current portfolio weight is 3.38%. Walmart, like many other things, took a little bit of a dip here recently, but like I said earlier, that's nothing for us to worry about because our goal is dollar cost averaging and continue to invest over a long period of time. And moving forward to Disney, we hold it at $87.98. The current trading price is $81.90, giving us an overall loss of 7%. One of our largest current losses in the portfolio, with it being about 3.5% of the portfolio. We can see that as of September 1st, we took a huge dip on Disney. Honestly, this may be a pretty good opportunity to buy a little bit more, especially since it has gone down in value a little bit. But I won't be adding any more Disney to the portfolio. I plan on using that extra $30 to add a new position into the portfolio. However, our last individual stock position as of right now, we see that already took a pretty big dip on the day, is going to be Coca-Cola. We hold it at $60.50. It's currently trading at $59.31, and it makes up about 2% of the portfolio, which is right around where I want it to be. I only hold $29 to $30 worth of Coca-Cola, and the overall return on Coca-Cola is -2%. And as you can see, it also took a big dip in the last week. So most, if not all, of the individual stocks that we hold took a dip in the last week. And if I compare that to the overall market, had I just had all that money in the market as of September 1st, I would have saw a little bit of a dip, but not nearly as aggressive as some of the individual stocks dip took. That's one of the reasons why I'm a big proponent of index funds and ETFs. But what I also like is getting paid, and I thought that it would be great to add a dividend stock into the portfolio that allows for monthly dividend payments. So with the last $30 in the portfolio, what I'm going to be adding is this position called Realty Income. And this is a REIT that has monthly dividend payments, or the last time I invested in it, it had monthly dividend payments. So the idea is that for every share or every fractional share of this position that I hold, I will get a percentage of the dividend amount that they decide to pay out. Once again, I am not a professional investor. I am just a everyday person similar to you, willing to put my money on the line to show you what investing looks like. So don't take this video as investing advice. Take it as someone who's willing to take a risk with their money just to entertain you and show you what the stock market may look like for someone who doesn't do this for a living. So for Realty Income, I'm just going to put the whole $30 in here, and I'm going to send the limit order here, and that will go through when the market opens tomorrow. So there you have it. That's the overall portfolio. Hopefully, if the market stays stable or goes up in the next week, we will be over $2,000 in our first month of investing. If you follow a similar investing path, having $2,000 in the stock market may provide you a little bit of comfort if you want to shelter yourself from emergencies, and it could absolutely help you on your route to building wealth. So if you found value in this video, then hit that subscribe button, as I will be making an update to this portfolio and adding money to it every single week. And if you do decide to stick around, I'll see you in the next one, guys.